they don't really have to worry about what's going on domestically. They're going to win La Liga, which is completely in contrast to what Manchester City have to concern themselves with. How much does that affect those two Champions League legs?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how many... Well, for example, we're doing Real Madrid, Osasuna tomorrow.
Yes.
What will the lineup be? He's got to try and make sure, you know, Modric, Kroos and all these guys, Casemiro when he plays in the middle of the park, particularly the first two, they're in their 30s. They need a rest, they need to be fresh. Modric can pull the strings. He can't afford any injuries to Benzema. So he's going to... Listen, he can give them a rest.
Right.
But then there's a balance, isn't there, between rest and sharpness.
Yeah, that's kind of the key. Is how do you find that balance?
Listen, the key for Real Madrid, in my opinion, is they're used to kind of being up and down.
Right.
You know, Chris has been talking about how many times we've seen them, and it's a great 45, it's a poor 45, it's a great 20 minutes, it's a great 30 minutes here and there, and so they're not used to being like Man City, who, for most of the season, have just been on this great ship that's just sailing along in a nice, easy sea. So Real Madrid, regardless of what's thrown at them, know that they can turn it around. They can figure it out and get the job done. Whereas I think right now with City, the only thing that against them is they're kind of in waters that are not quite as calm as they used to be, and they've never faced that this season.
Right.
So we don't know how they're going to cope with that. Now, they're so good that you expect them to, but if you look at Real Madrid, you know they're going to cope, and you know they're going to come up with an answer.
Robbo, to the point of sharpness and rest, how do you balance that?
Well, over the season, Ancelotti's tried to play the same players week in, week out, because he doesn't trust the players below that. But it comes a point where you've got some big games coming up now against Man City. You've already won La Liga, there's no doubt about that. So he could, in this game against Osasuna, rest one or two of the key players, as Craig was mentioning. You don't want Modric to get injured. You don't want him to be tired going into Man City, because you're going to need him. He's going to have to play the game of his life. You're going to need Benzema playing the game of his life. You're going to need Vinicius Jr. having the game of his life against Man City if Real Madrid want to win. So if there's any chance to rest players, it is against Osasuna.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.